Hello again, everybody! Zack Attack is here with my Super Bowl 47 review for tonight, Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, February the 3rd, 2013. Thoughts on this Super Bowl 47? I was cheering on San Francisco in this game, and basically it was indeed a tale of two halves. First half was very much one-sided, and then we began the second half, same way, with an amazing opening touchdown, only to be interrupted momentum-wise by the power outage. And indeed, that half after that point, it was indeed a blessing and a curse, as one team tried to rally. But in the end, a very somewhat controversial call in the last play of the game, in my mind, which I'll get to during my thoughts of it, helped seal the deal for one team as indeed it's all white and purple. So there you go. With that, now let's get down to my analysis of the game. Starting with the first half of the game. First quarter, kicking off with the 49ers receiving. The opening drive was very weak to begin the half, and it was basically a bad first half. Like I said, it was a tale of first halves. First half for the 49ers was very, very terrible. Terrible first half. Kaepernick, I think he was nervous the first half because he was like, oh my God, I'm a young quarterback. I'm in the Super Bowl, and played like he was stage frightened. And Ravens came out of the front with their opening drive, first touchdown of the game, midway towards the first quarter. And they got another third and out. And Frisco did get in the field goal range and get the field goal at the end of the first quarter. Once again, the second quarter was a bad second quarter. The first quarter was bad. Second quarter was badder for the 49ers. Getting a fumble. Interception thrown by Kaepernick. Another three and out, and ending with another field goal, disappointingly. But the Ravens played excellent in the first half. Flacco threw very well. I said it about Flacco in the playoff games. I'll give Flacco credit in the world. He is a great, great quarterback. He threw his ass off in that first half. And some highlights of the first half basically were Ravens moments with the field goal fake that failed. They were going for a field goal, but they play faked it. It was trying to go for a touchdown, but it failed. So that was kind of funny. And badass pass to end the second quarter with a terrific pass. I think it was Jacoby Jones. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. When the guy like he went down, but the ball didn't touch, and he got back up, went for the touchdown. That was like one of the best plays in the game when it comes to throwing. One of the best passes of the game was a terrific pass when the guy had the ball, but he hit the ground, but the ball didn't. He got back up and went for the touchdown. That was kind of a great, funny play to end the first quarter. Second quarter, we ended the half with 21-6 at the half, with Frisco losing after playing a bad first quarter and second quarter, bad first half. Like I said, the second half, well, it picked up where it left off with the Ravens getting a touchdown. Opening receiving touchdown, Jacoby Jones, 108-yard receiving touchdown. I was like, oh my God. And I think me and everybody else around the country believed that that was the nail in the coffin. It was 28-6. 49ers were losing by 22 points to open up the third quarter, and it seemed that way that the 49ers were about to be squashed after that last opening touchdown there by the Ravens. But, like I said, there was a miracle and a curse. Blessing and a curse. As the Ravens was growing up momentum, 49ers had the ball. Midway towards that possession on the 49ers. Symbolism. Powered out. Yes. 33-minute delay that stopped the momentum of the Ravens flat. And they said on the broadcasting tables that it's a blessing for the 49ers. They played a terrible first half. And indeed, the power outage was a blessing for the 49ers. They gave enough time to rally together. And indeed, 49ers kicked ass the majority of the second half, getting 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, led by goal. Frank Gore scored a touchdown. Even Kaepernick scored on a touchdown in that second half, not just in the third quarter. I think it was like the fourth quarter. I think he scored, and that was a great touchdown. Like Kaepernick finally shook off the nerves. Like I said, I thought he was playing nervously during the first half, and he shook off the nerves, and he finally played like he meant it during the second half. Led off, but those touchdowns in the third quarter, and of course the field goal to end it. And the fumble led to the field goal for Ravens. Ravens were not playing good, and it seemed that San Francisco was about to steal the game. They were down by 17, of course, last week. Not last week, but 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game. They were down by 17 against Falcons, and of course they won that game. It seemed that way again as we ended the third quarter with 28-23. Ravens were getting close to losing, but indeed, it would all turn around in the third, fourth, and final quarter. Very nail-biting quarter with, of course, Frisco getting another touchdown to begin the third quarter after a field goal by the Ravens. And then came a call in my mind that sealed the deal. That kind of like cemented the victory for the 49ers. The Ravens. It was 29-31 to begin that last possession by Frisco. They were like getting close. They needed a touchdown to get it. The last drive of the 49ers, they were like in the red zone in that last drive, and they were like very, very close to winning it. And it was a 4th and goal play that kind of, in my mind, sealed the deal for the Ravens. They were trying to go for a big, long pass, and it failed. And there was, of course, the no call. In my mind, should have been a holding flag. There should have been a flag on that play, the holding pass, holding flag that would have made another play for the 49ers. I think that's what's going to be, everyone's going to be talking about that victory for the Ravens ended up winning the Super Bowl because of that mauled play with the no flag on the holding that should have been called on the Ravens guy holding Michael Crabtree. Even the coach, Jim Harbaugh, was saying flag, 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 but indeed, that was it. That was the last play of the game, and indeed, the Baltimore Ravens won their second Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl since 2000, and Ray Lewis ends up retiring Super Bowl winner with the Lombardi Trophy around his back. I'll give Ravens a lot of credit. I was here in Frisco. Ravens played one hell of a game, and 49ers gave them a hell of a game in that second half. Like I said, Frisco, and I think everyone with me, like I mentioned, when that opening touchdown to begin the second half by Jacoby Jones, I think everyone, including myself, felt it was over for the 49ers, but indeed that outage was a blessing for the 49ers and a curse for the Ravens. But it turned out to be a curse for the 49ers, and indeed the Ravens held on to their lead and ended up winning the game 34-31 after another field goal and even a safety by the 49ers to end the game. And brother versus brother, Jim Harbaugh defeated John Harbaugh defeated Jim Harbaugh in the Harbaugh Bowl. Brother against brother coaches. Maybe get brother against brother playing each other team-wise. Eli and Peyton won there because they're both on opposite divisions, Call the Broncos are AFC, NFC, Giants. Speaking of that, Giants last year, they won on a wild card team, but now this year, Ravens are also a wild card team, and they won the game. I watched all the playoff games, and indeed, it was a tough season for the Ravens. They played hard throughout the season. I'll give Joe Flacco a lot of credit. Flacco was a terrific player during those playoffs, and Flacco indeed played well in that game. And Jacoby Jones, I think when it came down to MVP, it was down between Jacoby Jones and Joe Flacco. And indeed, the MVP of Super Bowl 47. I was trying to watch the coverage while I was making my review, and I'm trying to find, I think it was Flacco. I think Flacco was named the MVP of that game. He had one hell of a game. And, Yep. MVP award for Joe Flacco. It was going to win that the Ravens won the AFC Championship last year, losing to the Pats, who eventually went on to the Super Bowl last year and lost to the Giants. And indeed, redemption for Joe Flacco, going to the AFC Championship, winning the AFC Championship, going on to the Super Bowl, and winning it as a wild card team. Congrats to Baltimore Ravens. Although I am kind of a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we all know Ravens are an enemy of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But anyway, congrats to Ravens. One hell of a game. It was a great game. Almost as bad as last year. It just seemed like a done case by the beginning of the second half. But indeed, Frisco finally made it a game in the second half. It was indeed a tale of two halves. But despite a great rally from the 49ers, Ravens hold on and win the game. Now on to the entertainment portions of the Super Bowl. Starting with my thoughts on the commercials. Now, I think the last couple of years are going more feel-good commercials. And this year's batch of commercials were a mixed bag for me. But there were some very good highlights. Some of my favorite commercials, it's probably a tie for me between the Dodge Ram commercial about the farmer by Paul Harvey. That was a great commercial. That's probably one of the best commercials of the night. Along with the Budweiser Clydesdale commercial. I didn't like the Budweiser Black Label commercial, but I was expecting this Budweiser Clydesdale commercial to be good. And I'm not just saying it was a good commercial because it used Fleetwood Mac's Landslide, but it told a great emotional story, and the song just helped make the story more emotional. And that's why I like that commercial. Those two best commercials for me, Budweiser and the Dodge Ram Paul Wheeler farm commercial. Other decent commercials, the Century 21 commercials were kind of funny. The gas station where the guy had a choke, and they were like, it was kind of a funny first commercial when the guy like choking on a hot dog, and they were focused more on the house than him choking, but it was kind of funny. But anyway, I also like the M&M's commercial with the parody of Meatloaf's I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Last year, I did the same thing for my review. Last year, I talked about commercials that had good music, and once again, I focused on that this year. M&M's having a funny commercial with Naya Rivera, a.k.a. Santana from Glade House, kind of a funny commercial. Aldi had a very interesting commercial as well. And once again, Doritos delivered. I think every year, Doritos is always one of the funniest commercials. And the second one with the guy dressing up like a ballerina to get Doritos playing with his daughter, that was funny as hell. That was one of the funniest commercials, as well as another funny commercial, Tide commercial with the Joe Montana stain. That was also funny with the ending with the Ravens fan rushing up the stand. That was kind of like a bad omen. I think that aired like in the fourth quarter as Frisco was on the comeback trail. I think that was kind of like an omen with Joe Montana stain being washed up by a Ravens fan, like Ravens washing the stain off them of the possible 49ers comeback. Oreo also had a funny commercial like in the library, like, the cream, the cookie. In my mind, I like the cream. I like the cream on the Oreo cookie. That was kind of another funny commercial. Best Buy commercial. Best use of celebrity tonight was Amy Poehler, the Best Buy commercial. But the phone, that was kind of funny. Bad attempt, Samsung. I hated that Samsung commercial. Bad execution. Even if you had guys like Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd, very funny guys, the commercial, bad execution. Another commercial that was kind of like off mark for me, SodaStream. They had a little bit of controversy concerning a commercial that made fun of Pepsi and Coke that was banned by CBS. I didn't see that commercial on the internet, but the commercial they ended up with was okay. Commercials I hated the most, I think everyone will agree with me, the two worst commercials, the GoDaddy commercial and the Calvin Klein commercial. I hated the GoDaddy commercial. GoDaddy was always sexy, and that commercial was awkward. That was stupid commercial with the nerd kissing the chick. That was stupid. Stupid commercial. Calvin Klein commercial was also stupid too. I felt that then, and I'm reading on the internet, everyone agrees with me that those two commercials sucked the most, and I felt that way watching them, and everyone felt the same as I did. Those two commercials were the absolute worst for me, Calvin Klein and GoDaddy. That was distasteful. Also, not so good commercials. Toyota, the Genie with Kaylee Kuko from the Big Bang Theory. Speaking of that, CBS commercials were kind of funny. I like the two broke girls stripping to pour some sugar. I mean, that was kind of funny commercial. The Super Bowl Spectacular, the two broke girls. Other commercials I didn't like that much. Taco Bell's commercial with the old people with the We Are Young parody. It was like kind of distasteful as well. In my mind, this is my opinion. I didn't like it that much. Skechers commercial was not uneventful. The car commercials were mostly hit or miss. Besides the Mercedes-Benz commercial with the Rolling Stones, Sympathy for the Devil. That was a great commercial about selling a soul to the devil. But then you could afford it. So that was with Usher making a cameo. That was kind of a good commercial there. When it comes, also I like the pistachio commercial with Gangnam Style, Psy in it, even though the song's kind of getting out of style, but it's still kind of a good commercial there. Also, Walk in the Milk commercial. I saw that on the internet, but it was a good commercial there. And also, movies. Movie commercials were good. The Great and Powerful Oz movie. I want to see that Oz movie. I'm kind of a Wizard of Oz geek. I love the Wizard of Oz movie. It was probably my top 10 favorite films of all time. So I can't wait to see this prequel. I've been seeing the trailers a lot for it. And this commercial Super Bowl amps me up more for it. Also, the Star Trek commercial was kind of cool. Fast 6. I saw Fast and Furious 5. That was a great movie, Fast 5. Fast 6 trailer looks awesome. Can't wait to see Fast 5. And also Iron Man 3. I saw the first two Iron Man movies, and Iron Man movie looks awesome too. Even though I didn't see the Avengers yet. I need to see the Avengers. I should see the Avengers first on DVD before I see the Iron Man 3 movie. Subway commercials were okay. The Jeep commercial with open air rating was okay. Other commercials I didn't like that much. The Kia commercial not as good as last year with Motley Crue song in it. And the Speed Stick commercial was deep. I was like, oh, okay. The Bax Beer commercial with No Diggity from Blackstreet. That was okay. So that was my thought. And the Color.com commercial was also stupid as well, in my mind. Those are my thoughts on the commercials for the Super Bowl. Now my thoughts on the halftime show. Let me just say this. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but Madonna's halftime show last year beat the living hell out of Beyonce's show. I'm sorry, I'm not just saying that because I'm a Madonna fan, because I made my review of Madonna's shirt last year. This year I'm wearing an NFL shirt. I got my Super Bowl cup this year, but in my mind, I like Beyonce and all, and I knew that Beyonce wasn't going to deliver a decent show. Beyonce doesn't have that much songs. She doesn't have many hit songs. She began with, I like the staging though. The staging was cool, but there was no musicality. It was as poorly mixed as the Black Eyed Peas halftime show 2 years ago. Did the NFL learn from that? Did they learn from Black Eyed Peas? There was poorly mixed and there was no musicality in Beyonce's show. She picked okay songs for the show, even though, like I said, she's mostly R&B artist now. And she picked Go on Top to start it off. Then she did Crazy in Love. And then a song I don't know the name of. New or Not. Then she did Baby Boy. And then she did the DC reunion, which was like one of the worst kept secrets of the entire halftime show. That was a cool thing. That was probably the only good thing in my mind of Beyonce's halftime show was the Destiny's Child reunion. Although the mics weren't live for the beginning of Bootylicious when they set up the reunion. But anyway, they did sing live most of it. But Beyonce focused more on shaking her ass. I know she said in the press conference, I'm going to sing. It was more like, I'm going to shake my ass a little bit. They were focused more on the choreography. That's why I didn't like this halftime show. It was more about this trying to go more for the dancing, and it wasn't that good. And the music was okay. And like I said, Beyonce ended with Halo after Single Ladies. She doesn't have many hits. You know, for example, she did not do Irreplaceable. She didn't do Naughty Girl. Well, it makes a lot of sense because, of course, by the way, I need to say something about Joe Flacco swearing. Well, I'll say that in a moment. But anyway, Beyonce doesn't have a deep catalog of songs. She doesn't have enough hit songs to carry a halftime show unless it was an entire Destiny Child show. I think that's what she should have done, do a whole entire Destiny Child show. In my mind, next year should be Van Halen doing the halftime show. So some people saying Van Halen should be in a halftime show, but halftime shows been like hit or miss. Like, doesn't matter who the NFL gets, someone's going to complain about it. Ask what happened at Nickelback when they were the halftime show at the Detroit game during Thanksgiving one year. Anyway, no matter what NFL does, there's going to be a lot of critics out there, and I'm one of those critics this year. Like I said, I'm not dissing Beyonce just because I'm a Madonna fan and pro Madonna. I'm just saying that it wasn't as good as Madonna's show. Beyonce, I'll give her A for effort, but the effort wasn't enough to top Madonna, and whoever does it last year should kick Beyonce's ass. So that's my opinion. Now I'm going to end this review with when the confetti fell and they were celebrating, the Ravens were celebrating. I thought I heard Joe Flacco said that was fucking awesome. Wow. And it was more ironic because the Super Bowl was on CBS, where they broadcasted the infamous Nipplegate with Janet Jackson. So I wonder if they're going to charge him again with Joe Flacco swearing near the end of the game. During the post-game celebration, was caught swearing, and it wasn't bleeped. So I wonder if they're going to say anything about Joe Flacco swearing on camera and unbleeped at the end of the game. So that is it. That's my Super Bowl 47 review. Decent, exciting game. It was, like I said, a tale of two halves. Congrats to Baltimore Ravens. Great effort by 49ers. Colin Kaepernick didn't play in the first half, but he did found the heart to finally play really good in the second half. Great effort from Kaepernick. And also need to mention that when he threw the interception in the first half, it was the first time that a 49ers quarterback threw an interception during the Super Bowl. Joe Montana and Steve Young didn't do that, but at least Kaepernick persevered and did try to rally, but it wasn't enough in the end. Give Kaepernick a lot of credit for at least trying to play hard in the second half, but it wasn't enough to get the victory. The holding charge, that didn't happen. I think that cost 49ers the game in my mind, but congrats to the Ravens. Thank you all very much for watching. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the SB review by Zach. It's going to be a very sad time without football, but at least I got other things to think about because my DJing gigs and the Grammys next week. So thank you very much for watching this review. Have a great rest of your weekend. Yeah. And go Bears next year.